What's up, guys? Good morning, good morning. Man, it is cold here in Houston. It is extremely cold. I don't know what is going on, man. It's April, but it is freezing cold. Shout out to Two-Way for dropping the news on us this morning. Yeah, watching ADMA gapping up from 407 to 620. We can pull this up so you guys can see this. But yeah, big gap up for ADMA here. Also watching SGMO. That one has really started to run today as well. And a few other stocks to watch. RIOT is up. And so yeah, ADMA gapping up from 407 to 618. SGMO gapping up from 953 to 1401. And so decent gap up here. Let's read these news that Two-Way dropped on us. All right, morning squawk. U.S. stock futures were lower this AM after a strong Monday rally that saw the Dow Jones post its largest one-day gain since mid-February, February 15th. The gains pushed both the Dow and the S&P 500 within about 2.5% of their all-time highs. And so we can move on. So rally in the market yesterday. As for ADMA, it seems like Biologics looks to commercially launch Ascensiv in H2 after FDA approval. It has a tiny float of 11 million. Not tiny, but like pretty small overall. 11 million float. FDA approval for ADMA. It's gapping up some, reasonable gap up for that catalyst. We also have SGMO, like you can see here on the bottom chart. This is Sangamo, and it provides clinical update development. It provided a clinical development update, including early phase 1 and 2 beta thalassemia gene-edited cell therapy data. Float of 100 million, so it's not a tiny float. It's not a huge float or anything, but I would say it's on the larger side for 100 million. And this is a big move for a float that big. So we'll see where SGMA goes as well. SFET. We can check this one out. Gapping up a little bit here. This one actually ran some on the 28th. Got all the way up to the 470 area. Now it's at $3, gapping up from 248. So really it's gapping up exactly 52 cents right now. And this one is from Safety, identified as a single vendor and received an order from a government ministry in Israel. A tiny float of 1.2 million for SFET. We'll see what that one goes today. We also have another one that's been moving pretty often lately. ACHV, which is Achieve Life Sciences. They announced successful completion of the second and final DSMC review of their Phase 2B ORCA1 trial of citisinecline for smoking cessation. Float of 3.3 million. Tiny float for that one as well. We also have RIOT. I remember this one. It's a blockchain related stock. Back in late 2017, when blockchain started to really move, RIOT was going absolutely crazy. If we look at the daily chart, we could probably see that move that I'm talking about way back then. Let's go to the weekly chart here. Yeah, late 2017 right here. All the way up to 12/18 of 2017. The crypto, this is right when, if you guys remember, Bitcoin started to really kind of go crazy and get up to 20K. That's what we get this big move for in RIOT in late 2017. Since then, I haven't really heard of it much. It's popped up on a few scanners every now and then, but for the most part, it's stayed kind of dormant and quiet. So I think this one is ultimately dependent on what crypto does and what the blockchain sector is doing as well. But this one's gapping up from 354 to 460s. Sorry. Sympathy play on Bitcoin. What is Bitcoin at today? Is it up? I'm assuming it's up. Yeah, Bitcoin is up about $1,000 since the last time I looked at it. The last time I looked must have been in February sometime, but yeah, it is up to 4,800. Nice move there for Bitcoin. We'll see if it's going crazy again. Who knows? All right. We also have AVEO. That would be cool though, because the market was actually really good when Bitcoin went crazy. Now, I don't actually own any Bitcoin. I'm not people probably hate me for saying this, but I just don't believe in it. It's not that I don't believe. It's not that I have anything morally against it. I just don't think it's going to work. But I could be wrong. I definitely don't think it's going to work at the price that Bitcoin is at now. I think that's just too expensive per coin, but who knows? I could be wrong. Simply speculation. AVEO gapping up a little bit here from 111 to 120. AVEO and Biodesics announced positive results from Phase 1B. I'm not even going to attempt to pronounce that trial in patients with relapsed and refractory AML, float of 117 million. So a pretty big float relative to the price of this stock. It's only a $1.20 stock. Usually those tend to have a little bit smaller floats, but this one is actually pretty large, all things considered. We got SXTC moving a little bit, not really any significant move here for it. China SXT Pharmaceuticals Inc. received National High-Tech Enterprise Qualification. Tiny float though, 7 million. We also have Trill, TRIL. It's moving a little bit, not a ton. Trillium Therapeutics expands immuno-oncology pipeline with Sting agonist program, float of 15 million. So yeah, I mean, it's good news, but it's not really moving too much. We also have EDAP gapping up from 299 to 391. They reported fourth quarter and full year 2018 results. Thoughts on BAA? Shout out to 2A for that. Appreciate that news on those penny stocks, man. Appreciate it. We also have, with the overall market, we can look at the SPY here. The SPY is up again. And so the SPY is gapping up. Not a ton, but, it's still up technically. It's up about, 20 cents or so. And so we got AMD up. AMD probably just following the SPY, I'm guessing. We got SAEX is another one. Gapping up some from 360 to 379. We got MXC moving a little bit from 610 to 640. MXC. Riot still spiking up here. Right. I mean, 100% Sid. I guess I'll call you Sid 92. What's up, guys? Here, let me say what's up to everybody. What's up, Tube, Scott, Andrew, Tyrell, John Ennis. What's up, man? I think I said Scott already. Netron, what's up, brother? Nahum, good morning, man. Rich G, what's up, bro? Good morning. 36 degrees here in Maryland. Yeah, man. I mean, but I'm in Houston though, so it's like way closer to the equator. And honestly, I had to go to the doctor yesterday. My wife actually made me go to the doctor yesterday because I just have like this wheezy cough, right? And it's just because the weather literally dropped by like 30 degrees this past weekend. This past weekend it was like 75 degrees, hanging out, like relatively warm. And then the weather just dropped, and now it's cold. It's like 35 degrees here. My nose is stopped up. I've got a cough now. It's most likely pollen and allergies, but no bueno, man. No bueno. All right, well, the good news, though, is that Mitch is home today, and Mitch is going to be here early. And he's not going to be at a coffee shop, so he'll actually be able to talk a little bit. Let's hope that doesn't affect his trading. The coffee shop's kind of been his good luck charm. On the other hand, it could be the next gold, and it very possibly could, man. What's up, Bill? What's up, Tech? Sid, James, John, what's up, guys? Glore, what's up, man? I mean, it could be the next gold. Like, I think I've said my kind of my opinion on it, and like I said, it's just speculation. I honestly don't know enough about it to really have a educated, opinion on it. And that's me being honest. My take on it is just that it's not a feasible price for an online currency. If you're going to have an online currency, you know, I think it needs to be in the realm of real money. You know, it needs to be in the realm of real money. So, you know, if somebody wants to buy something online with Bitcoin, they don't have to chop Bitcoin up into a million pieces to buy something that costs $20. You know, if each Bitcoin is $5,000, $4,000, especially $20,000, you know, they're going to have to chop that piece into a bunch of other pieces. You know, you're going to be buying, you know, 0.02% of a Bitcoin. Like, that just doesn't make any sense. You know, it doesn't make any sense. It's not feasible for an online currency. And like I said, this is just my opinion. I don't know enough about it. I'm probably wrong. I don't know. That's just what I see when I look at Bitcoin. And it's, you know, it's just kind of what I see. I know a lot of people have invested. There's a lot of hype and a lot of niche Bitcoin stuff going on with websites and currencies and all of that. I'm not hating on your niche. I'm not hating on it. I'm just, you know, telling my opinion. And so yeah, that's how I feel about it. Yeah, Rich, man, it's cold, bro. It's cold. It might not. It might not two way. Here's the thing, right? I know. The price being so high for Bitcoin, it does a few things, right? It makes the barrier of entry harder. It also makes it a little bit less appealing for people that just want to buy everyday stuff with it. You know, unless they're like super up to date and super knowledgeable about it. I'm sure it somewhat scares people away. Whereas, like, if it was at a set price and they maybe improved the float or whatever it was of it, then it would be a little bit more feasible to buy a few Bitcoin to spend on online purchases with some anonymity. If it's $4,000, people just aren't going to be using it, which might be a good thing, I guess, since there's a finite amount of Bitcoin left. But you know, I don't know. What's up, Mitch? Sorry, I forgot to. I forgot. Oh, Mitch, I sent you the invite, brother. Oh. Yeah, SGMO float of 100 million for SGMO though, so it's not necessarily like a small float. What's up, George? Yeah, and that's true. I mean, I could see it in that way. I mean, I guess I could see it in that way, where it would have more of like an investment and savings purpose. But the problem with that, though, here's the thing, right? The problem with that is that it's just so volatile, you know? Like, you can only, like, the good thing about the price of gold is that it's relatively stable, you know? Um, Bitcoin is not at all. It's not stable at all. And so it doesn't really make sense as a savings and investment tool. Like, sure, it's crazy and it gained huge percentages, but it also dropped huge percentages. And so, you know, it's just not stable for that. And I think in order to have like a solid, long-lasting investment or savings, you know, security, you're going to need stability to a certain extent. And I just don't think it's there. I think hype got behind it, but I don't know. And so yeah, I guess that's what I'm saying is that it's not good for online purchases. It's not really I wouldn't say it's great for investment and savings. And so that's why I say it's just not feasible. I think it needs to pick one. But I know they're not really in control of it. Yeah, I think listen, I'm here's the thing, man. I am anti big bank. I am anti big bank. I think Bitcoin is a good thing for the country. Like, don't get me twisted. I think it's actually good for the country. But do I believe in it? Do I think it's feasible? Not really, you know. And that's just my take on it. I could be wrong. I probably am wrong, you know. But I think it's good. I think I'm not against the model there. I think it's a good thing. I'm anti big banks, you know. Ah, there we go. Let me make sure you're not muted today, Mitch. What's up, man? Yeah, there you go. You should be good. Appreciate the subs, by the way. Sean Anderson, Milton, Derek, Glor. Thanks, bro.
What up, what up, what up?
What's up, man? Let's do a test. There you go. Yeah, I think it's working.
Testing.
Yeah, let's turn you up a little bit. Can everybody hear Mitch? Let's do a test here.
Yeah, what's up, what's up? No coffee shop, so a little different here. A little different.
Yeah, man. No coffee shop trading.
Yeah, man. Who knows? Dun, dun, dun.
Moment of truth.
Yeah, man. Let's keep riding that, I think it's like a 7-day win streak now.
Let's do it, man. All right, I can hear him good. So yeah, man, Bitcoin is up about $1,000 since the last time I looked at it. How much did it actually go up in the last few days, though?
I mean, Bitcoin, I think it really did find a bottom at 3,500. I think that's exactly when I was trying to buy it. I was gonna swing trade it off of 3,000. Um, I mean, I think it's one of those things. It's a long term hold. You
Right.
just have to be smart and you have to be buying off the supports. It had a long time support that it came right back down to. Hey, buy the pullback, get halfway up the mountain. That doesn't sound bad because it
Right.
was a pretty big mountain that it went up to.
Yeah, for sure, man.
That's what I know. I made a decent amount of money in it. I just figured out a way of kind of bringing a strategy. I'd always buy into panic the moment that Bitcoin was crashing. That's when I was on my phone slamming the buy button. And I agree the same way now. Bitcoin got to its like all time low, 3,000, 3,500 for the last like year and a half. And that's when you should have been buying, not now that it's bouncing back. Now you're kind of getting in between where you can take a hit because if it comes back to 3,500, you're going to lose a pretty good amount.
You're down 20-25%, you know.
Exactly. So I think it's a little bit late to kind of jump on there. Can you take a trade? Yeah, we all know how you can, use risk and reward to measure out a trade. But I suggest that you try to get as closest to 4,000 now as you can, and then you can look for a possible ride up to 10,000 mark. That's what I'd be looking for. But it's definitely something that you trade more on a long-term basis, sometimes weeks, sometimes months, and you can get your return. One of the things that I would recommend is don't be greedy. I know tons of people that had lots and lots of money, kept reinvesting, never taking profits, and pretty much gave up all of their profits. Um, that's not what you want to do. You want to decide a point where you're going to go ahead and get out. I did that. I was able to get out in the 17,000s. Yeah, I wanted 19, but I couldn't get it that day that it made a move to 1920s. And I decided to go ahead and cut it, take my profit, and I watched it come all the way back down.
Yeah, for sure, man. On other news, Lyft. I'm not gonna say I was right, but I was right with Lyft. You know, it's down to 66.
You know,
IPO'd at 88, down to 66.
Should have traded that fade yesterday.
You should have, man. That was it was perfect. I called it out for you, man. I told you, but it's one of those things. Oh wait, didn't you trade it?
I
No.
wanted to. I wanted
Oh,
the
you
whole
did.
dollar point though. You see 72? I wanted 72. I had the order out for 72.
Yeah, man. It
It got
faded
right
you.
close to it. I thought it was gonna break a little bit above VWAP. You see, it got to 87, and then I had an order out sitting at 72.
Hmm.
I had 200 shares of short there, and I was gonna risk off a 30, so 30-cent risk for more than a couple, like a $2 reward.
Right.
But hey, didn't do too bad yesterday. Got back into one. Held it a little, probably too much. PBYI. Um, Ended up getting all the way stopped out again after it looked like it was going to completely break down.
Yeah, for sure. I know that's the good thing about Tefs and TradeNet. Like people hate on Tefs and TradeNet though, Jeff. But like, I could short, I could short left on IPO day on Tefs and TradeNet.
Yeah.
That's the beautiful thing about CFDs is that if they
Um,
allow you to, there's some good opportunities there.
Today, one of the top stocks on our gappers list is tradable. Going to be watching SGMO.
SGMO is tradable. Nice.
We'll be watching SGMO and also APU. APU is also a stock that is tradable and are in on our gappers list.
Hmm.
I haven't checked out Riot. Let me see. Yeah, Riot's tradable also. So today we got pretty good stocks from our gappers list.
Right.
So I'll be watching Riot, SGMO, APU, and our classic stocks.
So Riot is tradable too, man. So yeah, we got Riot, we got SGMO too. All right, so we got some tradable ones, man.
Yeah, man. I always check them out in the mornings just to see what possible stocks we have to trade.
All right. Hey, I'm definitely liking SGMO, ADMA. You know, um, I think SGMO specifically is just up a little bit too much. I think it was actually, I don't know if it was FDA approval or what was going on with this one, but it's definitely, it could either go parabolic and go absolutely crazy, spiking up, or it's going to fill some of the gap. A few people asking about TradeNet. Hey John, on the TradeNet intro package, are there platform fees for DOS? Yeah, it's $15 a month. It's not DOS though. It's TAFs. It's TAFs. So the platform fees on TAFs are $15 a month, but that's still pretty cheap, all things considered, relative to DOS. Like DOS is like 150 a month, and so it's literally 10 times less. So it's actually a separate TradeNet and TAFs are separate. TAFs charges commissions are relatively cheap. Sorry, commissions are relatively cheap if you use small sizing. Like really though, if you start to use like 1,000 shares is like $12 plus fee, so it's probably like $14 per round trip, right? But if you use 2,000 shares, it's going to be much more expensive. It's going to be like $24 for a round trip or $26 for a round trip. And so I think it's really good for like small sizing. If you start to use bigger sizing, it's not as favorable for commissions, And that's just me being honest. Hey, DMA up $2. You're trading that too, buddy. Yeah, ADMA dropping a little bit now. It just dropped about 30 cents or so from 6.45 to 6.15. What about the negative press on TradeNet? I mean, here's the thing, right? TradeNet is just doing what every other overseas broker does, But at least with CFDs, they are being honest with you about it. They are telling you they're taking the other side of your trade, and that's fine. If they pay out, they pay out, and I don't think there's necessarily anything wrong with that. I think most of the other seas brokers do the same thing. Like SureTrader, for instance, takes the other side of your trade. That's why they have so many shorts available, is because they're actually making a market for your shorts and taking the other side of your trade. And so a lot of times if you're shorting on SureTrader, if you lose, they win. And that's just kind of how the overseas broker world does. And it's just kind of a necessary evil if you want to trade with less than 25K. And so I think the negative press is just from people trying to get views mostly. And, some of the people that are doing it are promoting, affiliate links for other brokers that are related to trade or that are related to SureTrader. And so I think there's a little bit of a, conflict of interest there as well. But, whatever. It is what it is. Do your research, Maybe I'm biased. Sorry, Chew. I'll try to speak up next time, man. I'm about to drop my microphone, pulling it closer. Which is better? I don't know. Better is subjective. I think TradeNet is cheaper for new traders. I think most new traders are really just going to lose their first account anyway. I think that's just kind of how it goes as a new trader. And I know if you lose your first TradeNet account, that's typically going to be cheaper than, what you're going to lose paying for SureTrader, because SureTrader platform fees are like $150 a month, and it just gets really expensive. And on TradeNet, you have a finite price for the base package, and so it just seems cheaper to me. But like I said, it's all subjective. Better is subjective, I think that one guy bought like 1 million shares, which is like against the rules, I don't know. Like I said, reach out, like do your research, man. Let's talk about the stocks moving today. That's just kind of my take on it. That's just my opinion on it. Like I said, I might be biased. I post links for TradeNet. Maybe I'm biased, So do your own research, but that's just kind of how I feel about it. No. No, they can't force you to buy anything, man.
Give me all your money, Ken.
Listen, they might email you a bunch, but that doesn't mean
I'll call you.
Right. But that doesn't mean they're forcing you to do it. They're just salespeople. That's what salespeople do.
You see a call from New York, don't answer. They call me all the time. They're like, "Hey, Mitch, do you wanna put some more money in? You're doing good, man. Do you want to trade some bigger sizing?" I'm like, "Yeah, man. It's gonna happen, guys. Just take it easy."
Oh no, they for sure email you a bunch. They email me a bunch too.
Yo, I was looking at GameStop. I know they're coming out with earnings today. It's going to be interesting to watch, see what happens with that, see if it takes a downturn.
On which one?
GameStop.
What is it? GAME? No.
GME.
GME. I know, I was close. Yeah, here's the thing though. They for sure will. They'll hit you up with emails every day.
John killing me.
Huh?
John killing me, saying I'm gonna call this guy.
Huh?
See a call from Denver. I'm gonna take all Ken's money over here.
Wait, I'm gonna get a call from Denver. It's Mitch. Give him your money. Yeah, for sure. But with all that said, here's the thing though. With all this negative stuff about it, maybe I'm biased. I'll say this, but I think it's the cheaper option, right? I think most people are gonna lose their first account, and there's outliers. Some people aren't gonna lose their first account, but I guess if I would, looking back on when I first started trading, I would have rather bought the intro package on TradeNet and just lost that instead of depositing 1,500 into a SureTrader account, trying to pay for hundreds of dollars a month on platform fees for SureTrader, and all that stuff. And I would have rather just lose the intro package on TradeNet.
Yeah, I would have said that a nice $3,000, $4,000 ago on Sure Trader.
Right, 100%. And I lost like thousands of dollars on SureTrader when I first get started, and I think most new traders do, and that's kind of why it's like, yeah, they email you a bunch, but it's still cheaper for new traders, and that's the big thing, right? And that's really what their target is like new traders looking to learn. And I understand the business model too.
What's Walgreens?
No, Webull has the PDT rule. Siesta. Yeah, Webull, you have to follow the PDT rule on Webull, and you also have to wait for the T2 rule, the T+2 rule, and so you have to wait 2 days after each deposit in order to.
All right, guys. This is why I do a little research in the morning. We got a Walgreens Boot Alliance, essentially Walgreens getting hit really hard on their earnings.
Walgreens? What's the WAL? No.
WBA. You guys can check this. Profits missed and slashed as guidance. There's the two worst things you want to see in an earnings is profits missing, essentially revenues missing, and then your future guidance being hit again. As we see the stock get hit on the daily in March and now getting hit again down to $56 when it used to be a $70 stock. We're meeting a long time support that we broke through 58.94. So let's go back on the weekly and see if we can see where the next support is heading and where can we end up. Man, you got to go back all the way until probably 2014 for this.
Was Walgreens the one that used to be Eckerd's? Does anybody? I think it was actually CVS. CVS used to be called Eckerd's, and I know I'm old because I know that.
I see 54.46 on the weekly chart, but man, you could tell this has been taking some hits. Will be one to keep on watch today.
I'm probably gonna watch SQ as well. I've been noticing it's been moving a decent amount.
Haha, that's part of my watch list, man.
SQ, it seems decent, man. It's like if you look back on it, it typically has a decent range relative. It's been faking fades out just like everything else, but it's almost time too, guys. I've been trading. Yesterday we did a class on the moving average crossover play, and I've been trading that one almost every day, and it's been working extremely well the last few weeks. And so that's something it's almost time for me to use live money for. This is one of those strategies that when the VWAP fade stops working as well, that I may kind of switch over and start trading this one a little bit more often. I think it makes sense to do it that way. SGMO, John the Tundra driver. When? I'm not sure, Ken. You would have to reach out and ask them. I'm not sure, bro. But yeah, we're gonna move on from the conversation now, man. Not a day trader, but love your show. Appreciate it, bro. Appreciate it, rep. Right. CVS used to be Eckerd's though. I remember Eckerd's back in the day. Jono. What's up, Isaac? What's up, man? Yeah, any cash account or some like Robinhood, certain plans with Robinhood don't make you follow the T2 rule. You can either pick to have your funds settled immediately on Robinhood, but you can only day trade 3 times a week, or you can have your funds settled every 2 days and be able to trade as much as you want with a cash account. And a lot of these free brokers do that as well. but you're still gonna have to follow. It's still basically the equivalent, depending on how much money you have in your account, is which one's the better route. If you have a bunch of money in your account, the T2 rule is not going to be a big deal because you're going to have enough money to get in multiple trades, and by the time the funds from the first one settle, you're using different funds. So if you have enough in your account, the T2 rule is not a huge deal, and you can trade as much as you want. But if you only have like $1,000, $1,500 in your account, you're gonna have to wait for those funds to settle most of the time in order to get in any type of decent trade, decent sized trade. All right, guys, let's get this set up here.
All right, guys, gonna be watching ACB. ACB, one of the strongest pot stocks. I can see it's on a long-term downtrend from about the 22nd. If you look at the hourly chart, one of the keys is if it can get above 920 today and break out over 933, we can get a breakout to that 940 resistance. I can see that 940 resistance breaking and it coming making a move to 960 and above. If we see on the daily chart on ACB, we've seen a couple days pullback and really have found support at 868. We're going to see if it's going to make another rip up there to 985. That's about the level that I could see it kind of creating another kind of peak and creating a trend line. This does have a really strong kind of underneath trend line that it's been holding as it's been going bullish. You can see that kind of trend just holding strong, keeps peaking out, has made about 3 runs. We're going to see if it's going to make this 4th run here or if it's going to come down to that 868 or 870 support. That's what I feel about ACV and as the wheat stocks in general. Couple days pullback, looking for kind of reversals and breakouts.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, ACB is pulled up. Let's see, one, two. Let's see, one, two, one, one, two, one, two. It's kind of been a little thing where it does 2 green, 2 red, 2 green, 2 red days for like a while, which just means consolidation. It means it's a little choppy.
Yeah, it's been choppy for the last since the 22nd.
Kron's a cannabis stock, so it kind of goes with what Mitch just said, which is, just kind of what the cannabis stock's been doing. Kron faded nicely yesterday. Here, I'll be right back, guys. Bell's gonna ring in about 2 minutes. I'm gonna run, grab something. I'll be right back.
Yeah, the same thing for Kron. I see this as a measured pullback to the support of 1729. You're either going to see a crackdown through that support or it's going to bounce back headstrong through 20. That's my view on Kron. Welcome, Justin Bell.
All right, I'm back. What's up, Tony?
Oh, my dog. My dog's loving this life.
I mean, he gets to go to the park, and I mean, in Florida there's kind of dogs at the park, but here it's like there's like 20 dogs at the park.
Yeah, everybody's got their dog in Colorado, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Probably kind of
All
like
right, guys,
Cali.
here, let's do this.
Oh, I forgot the moving averages. Let's see. All right, let's see. We got a range of about 60 cents the prior day. What's SGMO ADMA doing here?
Yes, wanted to check on that one. SGML down for the first little bit.
Riot down too.
Want to see it get to that 1333. That'd show that nice weakness. ACB dropping there.
Yep. Cron spiking up. AMU dropping. So it should drag AMD down some. See ADMA dropping. We just need the VWAP a little bit lower for ADMA. Cron up. Let's see NBV, CGC. CGC's down too. VWAP's not quite low enough for that one though. MU back to the VWAP. We got BILI.
AMD with a nice down move.
Yeah, AMD dropping here. AMD faded really nice yesterday too. Twice. So I'll watch AMD for potential fade.
GameStop with a down move there to 1027s. Could look for a bounce to 1032. Risk would be 1040s. 8-cent risk, but not enough on the reward. You would have to go down to an old pre-level of 1014.
SPY dropping too.
SGMO looking very interesting, going down to support there at 1333.
All right, like if AMD gets up to 46, you could use a 55 area as your risk, maybe, you know, and then that's about 9 cents. And then you could use a 27 reward target, although it's not the best. Maybe I think maybe a 53 reward target would be a little bit better. 53 with 8 cents, and then from 45 down to 32 or so. Yeah, Riot with a little bit of a washout long there on breaking the highs. Starting to get up here to test this pre-market high at 495 now. But yeah, the SPY's down. Still looking at AMD. Nice two-way. Congrats, bro. That was a good one. All right, here goes AMD. Gotta be quick with these, man. Look at that move. Second day in a row I missed this one on AMD. I mean, it could get back up there, but... Second day in a row, man. AMD's been fading too. I've just been missing it.
Hey guys, I had a pretty tight little quick stop out there on AMRN. Tried to get in there at 1995, risk off of 20. It immediately opened up at 20. I got out of that. I didn't even want to call it out. That's not a good trade. Just way too much volume at the bottom. A lot of times what we want to do at VWAP fade, we want to make sure that the volume isn't coming in at the bottom. And that's exactly where the volume came in. As soon as it bounced, a whole bunch of volume filled, squeezing me out of the 20 at the 20 mark. Took a little hit there, $40. MU at that 42 mark didn't seem that bad off of 42.10.
Yeah, look at
Missed
AMD. That's the
missed
one I
that.
missed today, man. AMD, beautiful follow through, quick too. It's been happening so quick though that I'm not super upset I missed it. Um, they've just been happening really fast for AMD, and that thing broke down quick as well. And so, I mean, it is what it is. Those up wicks are kind of hard to catch, like right where you want them to, and this one barely got there, but beautiful follow through down though on AMD. We also have ADMA. I mean, if ADMA climbs back to the VWAP, it's interesting. But yeah, look at that move on AMD, man. Beautiful move. Still only 6 minutes in though, so there's still time, but SPY's down.
Riot bouncing back.
Yeah, I mean, it ran right into that pre-market high at 495. We'll see if it breaks it now.
Watching SGMO go all the way down there to 13. And strong bounce back there.
Yeah, I mean, SGMO. You could set a risk at 75, 25 cents, and then a reward level at 13 for 50 cents. So exactly 2 to 1 if it does get back up there. AMD right back up to, almost makes me want to take it with that risk of 45.
Oh, I just tried to get into square and it just washed completely out on me.
I mean, it's back up there.
Yeah, it like washed and came right back up. Let's see if I can get in here.
I'm looking at AMD, but I think the chances of it squeezing up are just a little bit too much now. Yeah, there's the squeeze for AMD. I'm gonna look at it for the moving average cross if we do get that for the, you know, the red to green washout long. MU reversed completely, so AMD probably is going to do the same
Started
thing.
here on SQ.
SPY pulling back too. You said you're in.
Yeah, GME looking good too. GameStop went back above that, held the VWAP, came right back down to the low. Yeah, I'm in SQ now.
All right, so yeah, Misha's on this one.
20-cent risk here.
All right, here goes AMD testing these highs. Let's see if we get the crossover here. $58. Riot, quick turnaround, man. That one just quickly fell back down. SPY pulling down some. Let's look at YNDX is one I've been messing with lately. That's up.
There you go.
Yeah, it looks good for you, bro. Here, I can throw you up. Hold on.
All right, took 300 off there. Took off 300.
Here's Mitch. Let me get this ready so I can mess with this while you're in there.
Took 300 off there at 92, guys. Now looking for the rest of it here at 75, 65s. I have 76.10. The spread in this one's a little bit rangy, so you got to be careful with this. That's why I took off most of the position there, looking to see if it can either come back or just completely wash down right now. I have another order to cover here in 100 shares at 91. I won't mind. I was going to take those 100 shares and then probably add back 400 shares at BWAP.
How much do you have left? Oh, you have 300 left? 76?
200 left.
Okay.
I took 300 off. It was a 500 position, risking 30 cents there.
Not a bad trade. Looks good.
Yeah, just wanted to really come either back to BWAP and just flush down and actually take down my 91 order because it's not filling.
All right, here, I got to record. Here, I'm about to get into this AMD trade, so I'll throw you right back up.
Focus on the AMD.
It may be just faking me out, though.
Trying to cover some here at 88. I didn't wash down to it.
All right, so like the way I've been approaching these, moving average crossover plays is really I've just been mostly scalping these, setting myself a pretty tight risk, with about 10 to 15 cents is usually what I've been setting myself, and that way, if this one shoots up 10 cents, I'm in, giving myself a 1-to-1 reward target when the crossover does happen, and that's kind of how I've been using it. And there's 53s. Just looking for 10 cents of reward. That's usually all I need to make a decent gain from it. But
All right, guys, took another 100 off there at 85 there. Letting the rest of this work. Got already $78 for the day. Had that quick stop out in the AMRN. A little bit upset about it, but got to just let it go. Overall, still up for the day, about $27 now. And holding total would be about 66 if I closed it here.
all right, so I got out of my paper trade on AMD, $50 loss, but that's fine. It's kind of the same strategy we went over yesterday in class, where I just got to give myself 10 cents on either direction depending on the range. Let me see if I can find any real trades.
There, guys. Trying to cover here.
Oh, here, let me throw you back up.
Trying to get out here in the 70s. All right, boom, got it.
Beautiful trade, man.
Yep, knockdown right there, $118. Boom, guys. So you guys see, You guys can see that loss on AMRN. Nice $818. That's how we come right back in this, up 76 for the day. Boom, another green day.
Nice work, brother. Congrats, man.
Yep, might look for this to come back to VWAP as it's come down to the low of the day. But I didn't try to go for a home run. I thought the risk and reward was there. I nailed the risk and reward from 76.10 all the way down there to 76.70, 40-cent return. I'll take that.
Hey, yeah, that's a good game.
GME
Honestly,
not looking bad either. That one did
yeah.
good.
Honestly, if GME gets back up to 30 or 28, I can use like a tight risk of like 35 maybe. But if
That
it just
1030 entry that I called out with a risk of 1040, that would have been perfect. Right there, the 1020s coming down to the 1015s.
yeah, but I mean, if it's a 1030 entry and your risk is 1040, your reward would be 1025, so it'd be bad risk reward.
Your reward, like I said, you had to use the pre-market level of 1015. There's a pre-market level there that I'd be going off, that I'd be targeting. Sometimes with stocks, they don't give you the down point, especially if it's a stock that's been in consolidation for a couple of days. GME was in consolidation for a couple of days. I wonder what happened to Walgreens. Let me see what happened.
What's the symbol on that one?
WBA. It's been bouncing.
Yeah, the VWAP's too high for me for that one though too.
Yeah, it's because it's flushed out so much.
Yeah, that's
And
the
this
other
one
problem.
went down to 57s, 52s.
Yeah, man, I'm watching that one. I mean, I think you exited it right though. I think.
Yeah, I had to take my profit.
Right. I'm looking at SGMO though. If FGMO gets up there, I mean, 30s. Maybe risk of 75 maybe. Yeah, you could do 75 risk and then
All right, looking for a possible 76 entry here. Risk would have to be 76.20s.
on the same one on what was it?
Yep. SQ.
SQ.
Need to bounce to 76.
Alright, well now that I'm done with the moving average crossover, I'm going to remove this. I'm looking at BILI if it gets up there. Let me see where the previous day's close would be. Okay, so the movies, that would be above it. I'm not seeing too many fades. Maybe SGMO if it gets up there. Maybe.
MU holding that flag. Red to green move. MBEV looking interesting.
Yeah, MBEV is up there. What is Kron and the rest of the cannabis place doing?
ACB holding well. Went back up to that 920 like I talked about. 920 is going to be a big key point here. Let's see what sizing can get in there at 920s. Kron also breaking out.
Yeah, that's the only reason I'm not. I like NBEV, but with the cannabis plays, they've been running up.
I had that feeling. I mean, they were going to have that bounce back there. They've been kind of held down for a couple of days. Riot kind of flipped. That one's interesting.
Appreciate the sub, Nathaniel and Taylor. Welcome, guys. Appreciate it.
Riot did a flip. Look at that stock. That's why you don't trade these stocks, guys.
Oh, I know. That would. I mean, I think if you're gonna trade these, you got to do like two-way traded them this morning, like where you're just kind of scalping like momentum moves. I think is the only way to play it. And then if it starts to reverse, you just got to hammer out. But that one, man, this one did reverse.
That was a
quick.
tough trade. Let me just say that.
Yeah, for sure. I think with the pity stocks, you have to momentum trade. If not, you're kind of cutting it pretty close. SGMO, this one's kind of pulling back here. It's up a ton too. I just don't want to get caught in like a halt if this thing does break highs. But I'm looking at it at 13.30.
Yeah, SGMO looks like it can break out here. I'm not sure. It's been grabbing some good volume there in the 1250s. Looks like a good pullback move.
All right, I'm looking at SGMO with 100 shares with a risk of 75 if it can get up there. 14s, 15s.
Oh, it'll give you the chance. Let it go.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, that's why you put your number out there. If you put your number out there, you'd get hit
There
right
we go.
now.
All right, so I'm in 100 shares. Like I said, risk of
What's your entry?
1327, right where the VWAP was. It's risk of 75. We'll see how it goes. Risking about $45.
I might jump in after you. Get a better price.
Trying to scout my entry, huh?
I might make money off you, John.
We'll see, man. I hope it drops. I mean, who knows though? This one's a crazy move. I don't usually trade these, but I'll give it some time, see if it'll actually fade down. 24s, 20s. Well, that's not bad. I just gotta be ready to take profits along the way here with this one. 20. There we go. Alright, I just took half off. Gonna let the last little 50 shares work.
Now hold to your wrist spot.
Right.
That's what I would do.
That way, if it turns against me, it'll be fine. It'll be a smaller
It would
loss.
be zero trade actually.
Right. Well, no, if it goes to my risk point, it's going to be a losing trade, I think. But
because first profits was what, 30 cents,
13.
right? All right, so
27.
So I'd risk the same on the trade now. If you risk the same, even if you lose that amount, you're gonna end up at zero.
I want to give it a chance to break down, but we'll see.
Yeah.
It's going to battle this $half or this whole dollar of 13, which it is, which is great. You know, let's see if it actually
might get a nice quick flush. I would have an order ready to cut at 1269s.
See, it's got to break that though. You get this move back up.
The flushes are going to be quick though if it does flush.
There we go. There's another flush. Let's see if it holds this one now. It's got to break that 13 level and really hold under it. If not, it's just going to keep bouncing while it's battling that whole dollar of 13. The good news is that I covered some, and so I'm relatively safe in it.
Stock that's just riding upward, guys. If you guys like slow moving stocks that are riding upward, APU just riding upwards.
There's 14s. And I could just give myself break even with this one now. I think that would make sense.
I don't know. I say you give yourself a shot, but it's up to you.
Yeah, you're probably right. I mean, I'll let it work. If I give it to risk, I'm risking about $30, which is reasonable, you know.
I mean, at the end of the day, what I would do is
I could give it the $half too, $13.50. I think that's the big level too.
So one of the key things I like to use in a bigger stock and a bigger range is the 5-minute chart. The 5-minute chart has it as a doji right now. You just don't want the next candle to open up higher than 1335s.
Right.
If the next candle can on the 5 minutes, so at 55, look for that move.
Okay, yeah, for sure. That's roughly right around where my risk would be anyway, and so it's maybe I might be down $10-20, but small potatoes.
Yeah, I don't think it's a bad move.
No, for sure. As long as it really, you know, once it breaks this high at 42, that's when I really got to start worrying about it. And so, you know, I can keep it pretty tight. Really, I'm gonna give it to the previous high at 55. That looks reasonable, actually. So right around there.
All right, PBYI guys gained some strength after a weak day. Let's see if it breaks out 336.
AMD really tanking here. Breaking lows on AMD.
It's kind of weird. AMD's been getting hit hard, but MU and AMAT nowhere near as hard.
Honestly, I thought my moving average crossover play would work well today because MU did a nice little red to green move and just kind of ran there, but instead AMD just tanked, man. It just reversed the other direction and just quickly fell, and so it kind of faked me out a little bit, but it was surprising.
All right, guys, short there. AMAT looking
Whoa.
to add here at 41.10.
Look at NBEV. That one just got hammered. NBEV. One big candle. All right, so we're up to 30s. I got to start kind of being a little bit careful here with this one now. I don't really want to see it break highs. I don't want to see it get halted either. And so I got to be very careful with this. Hopefully it stays weak and gets rejected here and falls back down. That's pretty good rejection. Let's see if it stays down, though. A lot of times when it does this, it'll just kind of come back down and then pop right back up. I just don't want to get caught in a halt.
Risking off of 41.16 here for AMAT.
I'm also looking at BILI. Like if BILI bounces back here, I'll consider that too. All right, we're up to 30s. Let's see if we can hold down here. I mean, my entry, I took profits at a reasonable enough place that I can keep it pretty break even here. Maybe risk 10, 20 bucks. But obviously, I'd love it to stay down and not run up and go crazy, but it looks like it is going to run up and go crazy. Like I said, I'm risking 55 here. I think 55 is reasonable. Hopefully it puts in a double top, but we will see.
All right, looking to take my first profit here.
It's 47s, getting pretty close. Oh, it got rejected. That's good. Let's see if it actually holds this time. The last time it did this, it bounced immediately back. Alright, well, we're back to 30s. Which one are you in? What happened?
Oh, sorry. My cat messing with me.
Oh, so we're getting a really nice follow through now.
Just covered some there on AMAT.
AMAT?
Yes.
It went in your direction.
Yes.
I thought you were mad over there, to be honest. I thought you were like banging around and sitting.
Yeah, I was. I threw my cat onto my keyboard right when I wanted to cover.
Beautiful here. So we're finally getting the breakdown I was looking for down in the 80s. Nice. Let's see if we get a little bit bigger of a move here. 90s. Well, we got a nice breakdown and then immediately bounce back. So, like, I'm still going to let it work, though. I want to see it get down to the 1250s.
All right, guys. Covered another 400 there at 89. I got it at 90. All right, got 400 left, guys. Now I'm up 129, guys, on this one ticker.
Nice trade, bro.
I'm up 205 for the day.
All right, we're down to 85s, 83s. 205. Killing it, bro. Killing it, man.
Pushing it, guys. Next
We're
level.
down to the 70s. Let's see if we get down to the 50s. I'll probably take the rest at 50s, but I'm gonna really let this work though. Try to get a decent, okay gain here. Oh, come on, don't bounce back. right, back down to the 70s. Let's see if this really works here. I want to see it down to the 50s. That's my profit target with this one.
All right, guys, took 300 off there at 84. Looking to get down to the 70s, 74 mark with this last 100 shares. Now took 189 off this trade. I'm up 265 for the day. Gonna let it work. And that'll be it for me today, guys. No need to push anymore.
Killing it, man. Keep up the good work, brother. Congrats. You said over 200 today, right?
Yep. MBEV, look at that fade. Man, that was a nice fade.
All right, I got out for a $29 gain. This one bounced up a little bit too quick. I didn't want to see it test 12. Maybe I got out a little bit early. But
nice fade on MBEV. Reversals on Cron and ACB. There you go. Look at AMAT. That thing took a downturn.
well, this week's definitely going better than last week.
All right, there you go, guys. Took a profit there at 74, which is the low of the day. I could go for the wicks at 61, but I feel like that's going to be greedy. I already got the complete wash from my entry. No bounce back candle at all. Just going to take profit there, guys, at 74. Celebrate this trade. $220 on that one trade. And for the day, up $296. For the week, up over close to $400. Probably about $380. And going to take that as I continue my winning streak. Now,
killing it, man.
Days. 8-day win streak.
Killing it, man.
Yep.
Keep it up, brother.
You guys, the trade and the account. If you guys want to see it, if you have it up there. 220 there on AMAT. SQ 118 and the one losing trade, AMRN, on a quick entry and stop out.
Yep.
It shows you guys respect your stop outs. Don't let them become bigger than what they should be. Take the stop out. Get right back into trading. Know what you need to be taking and stick to that right risk to reward, and you can get yourself right back into the green and have a great green day.
Yeah, man. You're doing awesome, bro. Congrats. Let's keep it up, bro. Let's keep it up. Hey, I'm up 2 green days this week, 2 green days on my live account. And so let's hope that my trading's going to turn around too. But you for sure, man. You got the size up. You've been killing it with the big sizing, man. So
yeah,
congrats, brother.
Yep. You know? This trade, I definitely wanted to have an entry closer to 410. Ended up getting an entry close to 404. Why? Because that was the risk, 410. The risk was right there. So it gave me an ability to really tackle this. One of the key things I saw AMD really washing out, MU looking like it could reverse. Went for my other stock in kind of the sector, which is AMAT. AMAT here, you can see it's getting really hit there. Already down to 69s. Maybe getting down to 60s today and keep going down. This one was very started to look bullish on the daily chart. It looks like it's going to pull back down a little bit before it takes off.
Right. We'll see what we get, man.
Yep. This is
you out of the full trade?
Yep, I'm out of it. I took it 74, which was the bottom pretty much. I'll take it.
I gotta have a little bit more patience with mine, man. Mine dropped down. I got a $30 gain. Honestly, though, with the way the last 2 weeks have been, I've had to kind of scale down a little bit, just because it's just been terrible for me the last 2 weeks. And so this week, 2 green days in a row, I'll take it.
160,000 shares covered there at 40.80. Someone made some good money.
Let me find it.
On AMAT, 48.
Oh, I see it.
160,000 shares going through.
Like, this is what Mitch is talking about, the 160,000 shares.
Look at that. Oh, my God.
Man.
This is what I pay attention to, guys. I don't care about that small stuff.
Right. These are the big orders that are going to actually influence it.
Mm-hmm. And look, where did it come from? 410. Where did I want to short, guys? You guys can clearly see it on my time in sales. Why I took this trade. 410 got hit hard. 16,000 shares, 4,000 shares, 2,000 shares, 2,000 shares. This is what I use right here. I know the pattern, I know the strategy, I know it has to either break out there or fail there. So I'm going to short the resistance and I'm going to look for the move towards the support and then look for the move for the low of the day. The real key is I have people jumping in on the trade with me, and that's what gives you the momentum. That's what gets this flush and elevator move down. We were talking about it in pre-market today that longs kind of stair step up and shorts elevator down.
Yep. That's kind
That's
of what we're. It's kind of the way it is. Panic is such a strong emotion, and hope is not necessarily. So panic is a stronger emotion than hope, and so that's why you get that big elevator down, and that big stair and you'll see longs kind of stair step up. You'll see shorts elevator down, and it's the truth, man, for sure.
yeah. SQ coming to VWAP there again, but I think I'm just gonna call it a quits. Call it a good day, guys. I'm gonna take my girlfriend to work with some time to spare, and just be happy. Enjoy the day, guys.
Yeah, man. Congrats, brother. Nice work. If you're in our classes, we'll probably end up doing classes this week. What was it? We'll probably end up doing classes Wednesday, Thursday, and Sunday for the rest of the week.
Yeah, that SGMO, man. Looks like it wants to play games.
I know, man. I ended up getting out. Honestly, like I said, man, the way this last few weeks have been, and it's kind of. Here's the thing. My biggest problem lately is that I'm not keeping a consistent share size, And like I can recognize that I've been trying to scale up, but when I scale up, it's just not in. It just doesn't go my way, and so I kind of go back down. And then when I go back down, it starts to go my way. And so the way to combat that is just to use a consistent shear size, no matter what. Not a consistent shear size, a consistent sizing relative to the range and the price of the stock. And so that's what I need to do next. But it's kind of one of those things like, you might have 6 weeks of very good action with your strategy. Like from February to like mid-March, I didn't have one losing week. And then the last 2 weeks have both been red, like pretty tough red weeks. And then this week so far, I've had 2 green days in a row. And so it's just kind of one of those things. I just got to keep a consistent shear size.
Tempted. Tempted on this falling wedge on PBYI. Falling wedge.
PBYI.
It's that rising wedge, and it's just going to fall right here. You could use the high right there at 36 as your risk. I would try to get an entry near 88 or 90s, and I could see this trade coming all the way back down to 35.26. So a 10-cent risk, maybe a 15-cent risk for a nice what we got there, 50, probably 60-cent trade. So not a bad one. One of the ones that it's really tempting me. One of those that I had to lock up my order screen because I would take this trade.
Nice, Justin. So somebody, Tiny, what if we did class tomorrow after the stream instead? Also, what do you think? What do you think about? Yeah, no, I'm looking at it right now. Exactly what you thought would happen.
A little bounce to 88 and then flush down. Look at the daily chart, guys. This is what gives it away. A little part of me just wants to tackle this because when I'm seeing things very clearly, it's sometimes the best to just hit it as hard as you can because you can pull out a lot of money, but you could also ruin your day. So
for sure.
One of the key things is as long as you understand your risk to reward, even if I would have took this trade, I still would have been green for the day because I would have only risked 10 cents on this trade, maybe 12 to 36. But it could be looking really good now. You'd already have about 18-cent washout, and you get a bounce here. You could have taken some profit. Look to add back shares at the 88 mark, and really look to tackle this stock down.
Right.
I love these stocks that kind of get this momentum throughout the day that they're going bullish, and then they fall. Because it's really not gaining enough volume. This stock on the daily chart bounced back, tried to get above 40s, really couldn't. Yesterday I had a doji candle, doji meaning reversal from the top. You see that clear reversal the next day, gap down, trying to break out, but can't really break out. The emotions come in, psychology takes over, and now everyone's looking to short the stock versus long it.
For sure. Beautiful call out, man. What do you think about Kron right now?
Kron, let me see it. Let me see. Kron's playing games.
Yeah.
It's one of those that I call. Remember, I have this thing that I refer to as called full range moves. This is what we call a full range move. The stock just ranging. It's ranging from the top to the bottom, from the bottom to the top. And these stocks are very, very hard to trade when they're doing this because they're not moving technically. You could say you could maybe a VWAP reject on Kron, and that's what you got here. You got a bullish pattern that failed to break out. I don't know if you're looking at my screen right now, but
Oh no, I'm looking at Kron, but here I could throw you
Kron
off.
had Kron had a one move up, down one, two up, down one, three up, down three. Tried to break out here on this red candle, couldn't get above the high. And then we always talk about this in our class. The 1, 2, 3 rule came into play here, broke down through this 1868. Volume came in as shorts saw that breakdown, and the stock washed down all the way to the low, then bounced back to the VWAP. That's what I mean by full range moves. Full range up, full range down, now a half move up, half move down. And those are the kind of full range kind of trades that you kind of want to try to avoid because the stock is not necessarily trending in a particular area. It's more being range bound and hard to trade.
Right. No, for
A
sure.
stock that looks easier to trade in the same sector would be NBEV.
It's just a smaller range, though. That's the only thing with that one. You would have to use bigger sizing to compensate for it.
And that's all it is. But ACB also is doing kind of the same move as Kron, where it's being rangy,
Right.
smaller, smaller in price range, but still rangy move. This is how you can tell. Try to find the best pattern to match your strategy, so then you can take that kind of trade. If you're seeing the
Right.
stock be all over the place and not finding any pattern, then don't trade that stock. Just move on to another stock. Find the stock that does have the pattern, that does match the volume, that does match the strategy.
For sure.
There's enough stocks out there, guys. You just got to keep looking, and certain days you got to pull the plug. Be like, well, I'm not seeing the pattern, not seeing it out there. I'm just going to let it go.
Yeah, definitely, man. And sometimes that's you got to do that, and that's all trading is. Like I know a lot of people, like Justin said, he made $70 today, but he said after 10 red days, this feels good. So yeah, the last 2 weeks especially have been very, very tough. And that's okay. Like the big thing about it though, Justin, is like don't get discouraged, man. Like it's not just you. Like it's me too. Like the last 2 weeks have been tough. Mitch over there, ignore Mitch. He's an outlier right now. Everybody hates Mitch, okay? But for most people out here, no, but Mitch has been killing it lately. He's just had a good eye lately during this time. And maybe Mitch's style of trading complements the market well, and vice versa. But
right now, I think that's what it is that my style is helping me out right now. My
right,
style has really been in and out, get my trades in, hit my hits. I'm not so stressed about being here for an hour, hour and a half. I don't even want to be here for an hour. I
right,
want to nail my trade. I want to get on out, and I want to celebrate the day. I think I've gotten to that point in my trading where I've traded for so long. I'm not just doing this for fun, guys. I'm trying to actually make that profit every single day and come
100%.
in with that plan to nail it and get out.
Right,
After then, I can talk all I want and enjoy myself. But
right,
while I'm trading, I'm focusing on nailing my trades, getting on out. It's not about, even being the hero for you guys. It's about just nailing my trade, doing my trade, and sticking to the risk and reward that I know how to get me that profit.
Honestly, look at SGMO now and look at Riot. Riot faded nicely, so some of these penny plays have been decent. You know, like SGMO faded. Looking back, I'm not super upset with my exit because it never actually reached 1250, and if I would have waited for 1250, the loss would have just snowballed into a bigger loss, and so I was probably the right move to get out of there. Um,
All right,
yeah,
guys.
man.
I'm gonna probably get on out of here. SQ looking really good. They're at 76. I'm gonna go ahead and get on out. You guys take it easy, all right?
Hey, brother, nice work today,
Call
man.
that I call that 76 entry. That's where I would have taken this trade again.
Yeah,
And
you
with
could
a
use it.
risk probably right above there, 716. Not
Right.
too bad of a trade. You can get right back below VWAP and get back to 7560s and 7525s. But I'm gonna go
Later,
ahead and
brother.
get on out of here, celebrate. You guys take care.
Hey, enjoy it, man. Congrats. Nice work, bro. I mean, here's the thing though, Ashton. It's not even the last few weeks. It's mostly that's just kind of how it goes most of the time, Ashton. At least in my opinion, especially with some of these like low float penny stocks. Like most of the time, these low floaters, they might spike up initially at the open, but if you look at these stocks a week later, a large majority of them are down like 30-40%. And that's just kind of how it goes, and it kind of shows extension, right? Like most people start covering their positions if they did get lucky enough to catch the gap, and then that just kind of pushes it down and down and down. Most of these things don't hold. SGMO, do I think it's going to fade off at 1350? It looks a little bit stronger on this end. It found some more support right around the lows. And yeah, see, here we go. Now it's spiking up as I say that. I think 1275 is the big level. I think if it breaks 1275 right here, then it's going to push the high of the day, and that's going to bring in some big volume. You can also see the volume is not good for a short. I don't think here. I mean, who knows? But I think 1275 is the level, and you can see, this is a support and resistance line I drew before this move, and so it kind of shows you that, the more common psychological levels are half and whole dollars, but quarter dollars are still relevant as well, right? So like 1275 or 1375, those levels are big too, and you can see like this was my risk when I entered the trade, and it was my risk for a reason, because if you look at this now, it goes exactly up to that level and then gets rejected and comes back down. And so like again, I think ultimately 1275 is the big level. Yeah, for sure. Like two-way trades these big penny gappers most of the time, and he says anything that usually gaps 30 to 40%, 30 to 49% has a great chance of fading off. Yeah, for sure. I'll put it this way, right? If you look at every stock that gaps up, really, like mine is kind of over 20%. If you look at every stock that gaps up over 20%, that is less than $20, right? If the stock is less than $20 and it gaps up over 20%, a majority of them are coming back down some. A majority of them are going to drop from that gap price from the open. And it's just kind of how it goes. Yeah, but one thing you'll notice is that even if they have legitimate catalysts, I mean, ADMA pushed up. I mean, this isn't like if you look at ADMA here, right? Even if it has good news, hold on. Even if it has good news, I mean, this thing's gapping up from $4 all the way up to $6, and so it's gapping up 20-30%, and so it's a pretty big gap, all things considered. 30% gap up isn't anything to play with, and so that's a big gap, right? And most of the time, even if it's positive news, it might still not be up. It probably shouldn't be up as much as it was, even with positive news. I mean, some of them, yes, but a lot of them are just getting pumped. A lot of them are just getting pumped up. And this one had a legitimate catalyst, but it probably shouldn't have been up as much as it was anyway, even with the good catalyst. And now that's all subjective. That's speculation. But, it's easy to say that for me, especially after the move happens. But I think that's probably why it happens. Can I review OSMT? Yeah, we can check it out. OSMT, at least for me, is just low volume, just not the high volume. Not something I would usually trade. Mostly a day trader, and this one is just not moving enough for me to day trade. You know, it's down a lot. You know, I don't know anything about the company, but bio stock, not really much volume. All right, so while we take a break here, if anybody's interested in using the broker that Mitch and I do, you can go check out TradeNet. And so that's the broker that Mitch and I are using every day to trade. And the way it works, for their base package, is called the intro package. And with that, with each intro package, you're paying for it. It's not a deposit. But with each one, you get 14K in buying power. So you actually have 14,000 to trade with. There is a $700 max loss, and so if your equity goes under 13,300, they do close your account down. But there's no pattern day trading rule on TEFs, and you can trade as much as you want. And that's one of the beautiful things about it. Another thing is that you can actually short anything that is tradable. You know, there's not a lot of penny stocks that you can trade on TEFs, but anything that you can trade, you can short. And so a good example is Lyft, right? Lyft is a recent IPO. No shorts were available for this one for a conventional broker, but you can short and trade this one on TEFs. And so Lyft is tradable, and you can also short it. And so another positive aspect of it, commissions are pretty cheap, all things considered as well. Like if you use less than 300 shares, commissions are like $3 or $4 for a complete round trip. Now, if you use small sizing, commissions are cheap. If you use larger sizing, like I said before, they get a little bit more expensive. But still, I think it really shines for new traders looking to learn to trade. It's mostly just for day trading insurance, mostly strictly for day trading. But like I said, I think that it's really good for new traders looking to learn. You can use small sizing, and plus right now they do have a sale where you can get it for $3.99. And you get, like I said, you get a $700 max loss, and so you're getting an extra few $100s to lose, which I think benefits new traders. You know, you also get a free month of our classes as well if you do sign up to TradeNet through my link, and you get with the TradeNet packages, you also get like their TradeNet course. You get a free month of their chat room, and you get a bunch of other stuff. And so it's a pretty decent, package for pretty cheap. I think most new traders are going to lose their first account anyway, and so I think this is a good route to save some money, learn how to trade, use a real account, but you can use small sizing and kind of play around and learn how to trade and short if you aren't able to short with your broker. And so like I said, if anybody wants to check that out, it's a good way to help support the channel, and I'll post that link here as well. And so yeah, go check out that link if anybody's interested in using them. Right, for sure. I mean, listen, people hate on CFDs because you're essentially trading against the broker. But I mean, like I said, if I can't get mad at them for doing it. Like, that's a pretty safe bet, right? If 90% of new traders fail, that's a pretty safe bet to take the other side of it. I can't get mad at them for it. As long as they pay out, they pay out. And you can't really, if they pay out, that's it, And so I think that's the only thing that really matters. I'm not sure how long this sale is going on for. I actually asked my account manager, and he said he didn't know. But, so I'm not sure how long it's going to last. Usually they don't last longer than about a month, and this one's been going on for about a month. And so I'm not sure. But I'm about saying I think you'll lose your account, Siesta. I think most new traders are going to lose their account. It's just kind of how it goes. They have the cliche saying you got to pay your market tuition, and I think that's completely true. Also, guys, Mitch has been killing it lately. Me, not so much. This week I've had 2 green days, though. And the cool thing is that Mitch and I, we do this live every day. So we do this live on stream every single day. And so we can't hide anything. What you see is what you get with us. And so yeah, go check out our site. For our members, we got a lot of content here. We're getting pretty close to 60 hours of content. I know we have over 55 hours, but if you look at our concepts library, we have understanding triangles, understanding VWAP and related strategies, back testing. We got a bunch on back testing, setting up your trading screen, using support and resistance, understanding gaps, understanding ranges. We just got a bunch of different classes here that you can see on a lot of different subjects for traders. And this is just one section. We also have a risk and reward section. We have individual strategies breaking down, a lot of the different strategies we use. You can see here we just got a lot of different stuff, A, B, C, D. We just got a lot of different strategies breakdown. We got psychology if you want to check out psychology classes. So, we break down books. We try to get your mind right a little bit with classes on psychology, and then we have risk and reward here as well, breaking down exactly kind of how we calculate everything with risk and reward and kind of a good way to do it. And so, yeah, but here's the thing, though. We're not experts. We're not gurus. We're not trying to be. And even on the packages page, you see here, it says, pick a program that fits your goals. Remember, we are not gurus, cannot guarantee you're going to make money. Our goal is simply to offer a cheap option instead of having to pay for $1,000 courses. If you're a new trader looking to learn for cheap, we're here to help. And again, we're not experts or gurus. We do everything live so people can see our trading. If you think we're a good fit, that's great. If not, no stress. But yeah, I'll post this link here as well if anybody wants to go check us out. It's a good way to help support the channel too. And so ADMA. What did SGMO end up doing? Yeah, I came right back down. Yeah, I think that 75 level is huge for it. Ultimately, I'm happy with my exit on that one. But yeah, that's probably it for me today. I don't know if I'm going to trade anything else today, guys. And so, I don't know if I'm going to get anything else today. We will see. We will see. AMD's right up there, too. Right. I mean, that's the thing about it, insurance, is that... yeah, later, 2A. Have a good day, brother. Yeah, man. I had fun, too, bro. I'm just happy, like, I'm not losing every day like I did last week. Last week was tough, man. But I think Mitch's trading style complements this market especially. Like I said, up until the last 2 weeks, I literally didn't have one losing week out of 6 weeks. Every week was green. And I did it all live on stream on YouTube. And so, you know, negative variance will happen. You know, bad variance... you know, negative variance. Sometimes you're going to get unlucky. Sometimes the market's going to turn against you. That stuff is going to happen. You know, if you stay in the market long enough, you know, and this is what our next class is on, is that 3 things will happen. You will have positive variance. You'll have variance in your favor, so you're going to get lucky, and your strategies are going to work. You're going to have negative variance, so you're going to be in slumps, and you're going to have slumps. And ultimately, most of the time, you're going to lose a trading account. Yeah, for sure, man. Yeah, 2Way's killing it lately too, man. 2Way's a sniper with those scalps. But yeah, we just try to give everybody, like, we try to let people watch us for free. And that's the big thing. Like, I always say, like, I'm never going to charge for the stream. I think I kind of agree with insurance, where it's like one of the best ways just to learn about trading and to understand how it works is just to watch other people do it. You know, that's really where a lot of value is. It's just being able to watch other people do it, you know. Yeah, man, insurance, honestly, my my video count on YouTube is getting up there, man. I looked at it the other day. I've been doing this every single day for like years now. Every single day for years. And my video count on YouTube is like 600 and something. I have like over 600 videos on YouTube now. About to drop stuff. But yeah, like I said, if anybody wants to help support the channel, you can sign up to TradeNet. Again, you know, the intro package is $3.99 and you get 14K in buying power, $700 max loss. There's no PDT rule. If you're interested in helping support the channel, it's a good way to support the channel. I'll post that link here one more time. Also, go check out Trade Ideas. Trade Ideas is a really cool company. They're actually cool enough to let me stream their scanners on an everyday basis. And honestly, if you're interested in checking out these scanners, I'll post this link here as well. Super dynamic, customizable scanners. Allows you to do a lot of different stuff. Again, it makes my mornings much, much easier. And so I'll post that link here as well if anybody wants to go check out Trade Ideas. You can go to that link. Another way to help support the channel. But yeah, guys, that's it for today. I'm probably done. Not seeing anything I like. ADMA may get interesting if it gets back up to the VWAP, but if it does get back up to the VWAP, it's also going to be breaking this 580 level here, and so that might give it some momentum, the wrong momentum. And so we'll see what happens with that. Anyways, guys, let's see. I'll post my video here. Alright guys, that's it for this one. Like I said, if you want to join us for our classes, we have over 50 hours of classes in our library. Plus, we hold 3 live classes that are each an hour long each week. So 3 live classes a week as well on top of the library. Go check out the link I just posted. And yeah, that's it for this one, guys. So good luck for the rest of the day. I'll see you all tomorrow morning for our stream. And have a good day, guys.